Hi everyone, today I would like to focus on the afterlife and animal spirits or animal souls. I noticed that sometimes, as we have this tendency to put everything into hierarchy in this world, sometimes even in the spiritual circles or in spiritual literature, we may read that animals are somehow lower in evolution, or that they are, or even, some go as far as saying that animals don't have souls or spirit, which is, of course, a complete nonsense. And I just wanted to share my experiences with animal souls and animal spirits. And from my experience, they are for sure not lower in any way. Some animals actually are more evolved and more enlightened than any person I have ever met. So I can speak from my own experience, from the animals that were in my life and are in my life, and the animal spirits that I have been blessed with as my spirit guides, because they are just amazing. The amazing thing about animals is that they are not brought up in this system of hierarchy and of judgment like we humans. So they don't even care if something that they're lower or higher, and who is more advanced, who is less advanced. They don't care, because that doesn't even exist in their world. And they are just in pure connection with the source and with the absolute and with the divine love. It's just amazing to me to observe, for example, because I have telepathic communication with my cats and dogs, and I consider them as my they're totally my equals. I mean, there's not I don't even like to call them pets, because it kind of sounds like, I have a pet, or that I am their owner, or that I own them. It's more the other way around, I would say. But it's just amazing to me just how wise and smart they are. And when I ask them a certain question, they immediately have an answer. I have one cat that is he's a healer, and he's just perfect at calming me down and making the right diagnosis with the other animals when there's something wrong, or when I'm worried about something. Or he just knows telepathically, like, what they are thinking or what they are experiencing. And my first beloved dog, Max, who passed away, he stays in contact with me, but it was hard to reestablish it, because of course the dearer the person, the harder it is when they cross over, and it usually takes some time to make that connection. But I sense him in the seventh dimension of the all-encompassing love, and this beautiful dimension of colors and healing lights, healing sounds. And it's just like a purely divine, beautiful consciousness. But I am also aware of certain parallel versions of him in the fifth dimension and in the 3D. And I made this promise to myself that before Max leaves this world, I have to make some connection with the afterlife and with the places we go to after this incarnation, just to be able to cope with him passing. And since then, I've been journeying more and exploring these worlds. And that's my main motivation, really, to explore the places we go to, because it keeps this contact for me with my beloved ones that are on the other side. And Max helped me understand many of these dimensions. And then I had this experience with my cat Thor, and I talk about Thor in other videos because it was such a crucial experience. It was for me like total, even physical proof of reincarnation, and he guided me through his reincarnation, because he died by accident. And until then, I didn't know that it's possible. I thought there were no accidents, but there was actually an accident, and he immediately wanted to return. It was like, okay, this was not right. This hit and run was just like not in my plan, and I'm gonna come back. So he remained in telepathy with me the whole time. And what was interesting for me is that the night, I didn't know yet that he crossed over. We found him the day after, but I was really worried for him because he didn't come home. And my elven friends, they came to show him to me in my dream. So at first I thought he was okay, but of course he was okay. But from my perception, the 3D, incarnation perception, he crossed over, and my elven friends came to show him to me that he was all right. And since then, he remained in contact in telepathy, but also gave me signs of how he would return in my dreams. And it was interesting to me to see how the other cats reacted to him. So they would look at a certain point where I felt him, because he was like still around us. He wasn't yet incarnated, so he was around us always. And I could sense the presence of his spirit on the furniture, and he was running around. And the other animals always like looked in the same direction where I sensed him. So that was interesting to me. And he also worked together with my elven friends and my elven spirit guides. So when like every rational person, I need a proof from time to time. So I ask my spirit guides and my elven friends to give me a proof that that we are really in this communication. And I got some amazing proofs when Thor was helping me with that, because, for example, I would lie at night, and suddenly I just saw one of my rings on my hand vanish in front of my eyes. It was suddenly gone. It's a ring I never take off. It was suddenly gone. And I couldn't believe it. And the next day I was looking for it everywhere the whole day, couldn't find it. And then I found it on the most unlikely place, and it was somehow slightly different. It was really interesting. I knew that it was them showing me, and it had a more symbolic meaning, but private one, so I won't share that, why that specific ring. But then they would do also a thing that I have this dream catcher, and because I'm very focused on geometries and symbols, so I know these things, and I know that the dream catcher was a 6-pointed star. But then one morning I woke up and it was an 8-pointed star. And Thor came back almost exactly a year later, and he, as many psychics or mediums that connect with animal spirits, they say that usually when our animal friends want to return to us, they give us quite concrete information as to where they would be found, how they would look, even the specific dates. And Thor was so specific that he told me the exact date and the exact hour that he then returned. He said he would be found at a house of beads, which back then I didn't know what it meant, that he would be brought to us or given to us. And then in my dreams, he started to show up as a little tabby cat, gray tabby. So I knew that he would come as a tabby. And along that, he also, since he was on the other side still, the reincarnation period, he helped me solve certain family issues that were there, and he helped me heal my father's lineage. So it was like a whole amazing process. And then he returned as he promised during the autumn equinox on full moon. At 3 p.m. he said he would return at 3, and it was exactly at 3 that I received a message from our neighbor who found this gray tabby kitten at her work and asked whether we wanted it. And I said, only if it's Thor, so please could you bring it over? And she brought the kitty, and I just saw in the eyes immediately that it's Thor, because as they say, the eyes are windows to the soul, and really it's more about the look, maybe not the eyes. It doesn't have to be the same color, but it's the look, it's the expression that you just know that it's that spirit, that soul. And the place where she works with glass, so the including the creation of glass beads. So the house of beads made sense suddenly. And then later we learned how Thor came there, that he actually, then when I shared some pictures, my neighbor told me that her work colleague said that this is my kitten. It must have like gotten into the car somehow and drive with me and then show up at that place, which is quite amazing if you think about it. That like it was like a planned journey, because this kitten was promised to somebody else, but then he's here and he kind of escaped to get back to us, which is just a miracle. It's just miraculous thing how he returned. And for me now to observe it, how similar the characters are, because of course each animal has a different, like we do, right? They have different characteristics, different personalities, and it's just Thor has a different body, but the same look, the same gaze, and the same characteristics, the same behaviors. Experiencing this reincarnation kind of helped me heal and helped me understand that there's kind of like, even though of course I believed it, but there's nothing like a real proof, proof with all these miracles surrounding it.